The popularity of combat sports is on the rise once more, with insane moments ranging from Connor McGregor's leg break to the constant successes of the Paul brothers. However, you won't be surprised to hear that some moments have gone way too far. If you want to know about some of the craziest moments in combat sports history, you have landed at the right place. In this video, we're going to explore moments when fighters decided to take things way too far. So, strap yourselves in and get ready for a bumpy ride as things are about to get interesting. Let's get started. Number 1. A little bit of spanking on the side. To really understand this moment on our list, we have to go back to 2003, which saw a highly anticipated championship fight between Randy Couture and Tito Ortiz take place. Although many eyes were on both fighters, considering how the lightweight was up for grabs, the overall theme of the fight made it one that everyone had to weigh in. For those who don't know, Couture has always been a paragon of virtue in the octagon, never resorting to the trash-talking of his opponents to a large extent. He represents what the MMA used to be, which makes sense while keeping in mind that he was far more advanced than Ortiz was. Tito was not just much younger, though. He used his experience in wrestling to take the arrogant youngling to the ground as many times as possible. With Ortiz looking to lose out on points, he decided that the time had come for him to do something spectacular. Couture flipped Ortiz over and ensured that Ortiz had absolutely left to go with the match pretty much over. Couture took things a step too far by reaching out and spanking Ortiz, whose butt was now high up in the air. Number 2. When the lights go out in Charlotte. Focus is really important for any fighter, especially for UFC warriors, and while heading into the octagon, they try to neglect what's happening in their surroundings and focus on their prey. I mean, the opponent. Some may walk quietly, collecting their thoughts, while others sing along their way to hype themselves up. It's something fighters take pretty seriously. At UFC Fight Night 21, there was a lightning breakdown in Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, moments after Roy Nelson and Stefan Struve went out to the cage. The arena turned dark black, and the fighters' focus was redirected. Already sweating from their pre-fight warm-up, Nelson and Struve were standing without the heat of the lights, shivering in their fighting outfits. Struve was knocked out 49 seconds into the first round, and it seemed as if he was never in the fight, not even for a second. Whether it had anything to do with the lightning distraction or not is still debatable, but the situation itself was pretty awkward. Number 3. Referee Marco Lopez blatantly screws Scott Smith at UFC 59. At UFC 59, Scott Smith and the hard-hitting David Terrell went toe-to-toe. At one point during the fight, referee Marco Lopez called for a break. Smith hears the call and immediately stops. However, Terrell continued fighting. It seemed as if he had not listened to the referee's call. Seeing Smith taking a break, Terrell acted quickly and locked Smith in a rear naked choke. Referee Lopez took no action against Terrell to let him know that a break had been called. Smith was forced to tap to get Terrell to release the choke, and when he did, Smith was found on the receiving end of a displeasing loss as the bout came to an end. He appealed to the California State Athletic Commission, saying that the fight should have instantly been declared a no contest, but it wasn't the case. As a result, Smith's winning streak was over as he suffered the second loss of his career. This was one of the most controversial fights ever, and many people believe referee Lopez should have realized his mistake and apologized. However, he didn't. Number 4. Bustamante earns 2 submission wins over Matt Lindland at UFC 37. Pete Sell vs. Matt Brown was not the only time you witnessed a UFC referee stopping a fight and then again resuming it. At UFC 37, the middleweight champion Murilo Bustamante caused Matt Lindland to tap out due to a strong armbar hold. What happened next was something no one in the audience expected. Lindland protested and claimed he had not submitted. In a moment of absurdity, the fight was restarted. However, Bustamante earned another submission by way of guillotine choke and ended the bout. Number 5. Dave Kaplan asks Tom Lawler to punch him and gets knocked out. Some men just don't know their own limits. After excessively bragging about how he can't be knocked out, Dave Kaplan begged the Ultimate Fighter teammate Tom Lawler to punch him in the face. Tom, who fights 3 weight classes above Dave, reluctantly agrees, and the punch knocks Kaplan completely unconscious. This was a pretty funny thing to watch for the viewers at home, but no doubt it was an uncomfortable experience for Lawler. The funniest part was that after regaining consciousness, Dave tried to say that he didn't get knocked out. Number 6. Randy Couture spanks Tito Ortiz. In the heat of battle, 2 fighters scrapping over a world championship can sometimes do pretty unpredictable and hilarious things. However, giving your opponent a spanking inside the octagon is something you wouldn't have witnessed before. While fighting against Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture was well ahead on the scorecards. In the final seconds of the fight, Ortiz tried an unsuccessful knee bar, but since he had a solid grip on Randy's leg, Couture was unable to improve his position. Make sure to watch the included video to hear the Hall of Famer describe this bizarre moment. Number 7. David Gardner gets rear naked. Some of the things on this list are awkward for the viewers and some are awkward for the participants. This one is the latter. While fighting Shinya Aoki, David Gardner gives up his back. You'd think with a Brazilian jiu-jitsu expert on your back, you would want to be very careful. Gardner, however, seems entirely carefree as he waves to a crowd member. This unexpected gesture leaves his neck completely exposed, and Shinya takes advantage. This was probably embarrassing for Gardner, and it probably didn't help that one of the announcers blatantly mocks him. Number 8. Rich Franklin gives Matt Serra horrible advice. While Matt Serra was preparing for a fight on the 4th season of The Ultimate Fighter, Rich Franklin popped by the gym to offer some advice. Rich basically tells Serra that he should frequently drop to one knee and throw punches from there, that way his opponent can't kick him. While it's true that his opponent wouldn't be able to kick Serra, he would still be vulnerable to punches, and it would make it more difficult for Matt to land his own punches. Whether or not Franklin was just screwing with Matt, I'm not sure. This one is awkward because it's obvious that Serra thinks Rich's advice is stupid, but tries to be nice about it anyways, all the while Franklin is surprisingly insistent that the strategy will work. Number 9. Dennis Hallman fights in man panties. Have you ever seen a UFC fighter competing in the octagon while wearing awful man panties? Well, it's rare. Very rare. At UFC 133, Dennis Hallman was seen entering the cage in panties. Want to know why? Because he had lost a bet. During the fight, Hallman's testicle was briefly exposed, and since that time, a permanent ban was imposed on this sort of outfit inside the octagon. Interestingly, the opponent, Brian Ebersole, was awarded a "getting those horrifying shorts off TV as soon as possible" bonus for beating Dennis Hallman in the very first round. That's it for today's video. Hope you've enjoyed watching these bizarre moments. If you enjoyed our video, then press the like button. Also, subscribe to our channel for more sporty and entertaining videos.